Start with Sean Cunningham.
Hey, what's up, sir?
Okay.
I know it's a career high that probably doesn't mean much to you because it was in a loss, but just your thoughts on your performance overall tonight, and maybe just and Luke talked about you guys getting your fight back tonight, even though the defense was still pretty terrible. I mean, what did it mean to you for you to kind of see the fight from your team as well?
I mean, it was good. On the NBA, it's hard to come back from 20-point deficits. Obviously, we still gave ourselves a chance to win, but I think that in the first quarter, early second quarter, when we kind of got down like that, it's hard to come back. And for me, I think it was we were coming back, and Eric hit a three at the end of a shot clock that kind of helped them. That's one of those plays where you talk about stopping the bleeding, because we were coming back, and I think if he misses that shot, it's an entirely different game. But that second quarter, when he hits that three at the end of a shot clock, I mean that helped him, and that's a vet making a play.
James Jam.
Hey, DeAaron, Buddy said about you in a discussion about you earlier that who's given much is required. And look, I know you're not Spider-Man here, but do you feel that more is required from you now? You guys are struggling, but you're the face of the franchise, and now it's time that you need to give even more of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have needed to play better. I don't think I've come out this season, playing that well, or playing to where anybody here is expecting me to play. So yeah, I mean, I know I need to be a lot better. I mean, I think there is more, both offensively and defensively that I'm able to do. And I mean, I think I did a decent job tonight. But like I said, when we've had the deficit, or when we cut the lead down, that's when your player needs to step up and make a play. And I don't think I did. I don't think I really did that tonight whenever the game was really tight.
All right, George.
Hey, DeAaron, on top of your great night, Marvin Bagley also had arguably his best night of the season. What does that do for you when you have a big of the capabilities like Bagley hitting his outside shots, always a threat to score, running the pick and roll with you? How does that two-man game benefit you in this career high performance?
I mean, it's big, with him and Rich, and I mean the way that Rich has had a really good season. He's probably been our best player this year. He's definitely been the most consistent. Having those guys in a pick and roll, I mean, it makes teams have to be honest. A lot of teams in the league, you want to guard the pick and roll with two guys, because once you get a third guy in there, now it puts your defense in rotation. So obviously, we're happy for him having a big night. Obviously, we wish that we won, but it's definitely great. It gives more so it gives him a lot of confidence. Obviously, he knows that he can play in this league. We know he can play in this league. And it just gives you a lot of confidence going forward. But man, it's still a lot of work that we got to do.
Hey, DeAaron, I think you mentioned that Bledsoe three, if I remember correctly, that might have come off of a second chance opportunity. And you guys had a few situations where, whether it be an offensive rebound for them, a turnover for you guys, where you guys were closing the gap that kind of flipped it back. Do you feel like defensively, especially, that you guys are just a few tweaks and a few areas of focus away from just turning this thing around?
Definitely. I mean, I don't think obviously Zion's a different cat, but I don't think a lot of their stuff was easy tonight. But there was one point in the first quarter where we had one rebound to their 9. I remember looking up at the scoreboard. So just those things, like finishing a defensive possession. There are times where we're locked in defensively, and then we give up an offensive rebound, and nothing good ever comes from giving up an offensive rebound. So yeah, definitely. I mean, to your question, there are definitely. I don't think it's huge things. It's very minor tweaks that can make a hell of a lot of difference.
Jason Anderson.
Two things, if I may. DeAaron, nice game tonight. First of all, first Kings player since Tiny Archibald to get 40 and 10. What's it like to hear your name in a sentence with Tiny Archibald?
I mean, it's great, but I mean, I was told that earlier. I'm like, well, we lost in a career high, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. And secondly, Buddy also said earlier that he's noticed more of your voice and your leadership recently behind the scenes. Is that, natural progression for you, or is it a case of you seeing that your team is in a difficult spot and needing you to take on maybe a greater leadership role?
Yeah, for sure. In the slump that we're going through, we started the season well, but obviously it's a long season, and we're in one of those, I guess, downhill moments. And as a point guard, as one of the leaders on the team, I know I've had to be more vocal, and whether it's in a huddle, in the locker room, in practice, I know that I have to step up even more. It's not just with play or with your words. It's what you're saying. Just trying to get guys out of it. But for us, we know it's not offense. It's definitely not offense. We're putting up 100 and something more times than not. It's defense, making sure everybody's locked in defensively, or knowing the scheme, knowing what we need to do. Like I said earlier, with the rebounding, knowing that we're going to make them miss with our defense. If we're playing well, we're going to make them miss. And it's about boxing out guys like Steven Adams and Josh Hart and Zion, and getting to the ball, knowing that we have to help our bigs with these type of guys. And that's pretty much all it is for me. Just try to get us out of this.
Back follow-ups, James Ham.
Hey, DeAaron, how much are you learning about just yourself and about the process of becoming that next level player through this whole, the struggles of this early season, but really, just in general, like being the guy that's the face of the franchise and all that stuff?
That it takes a lot. This ain't easy. You can talk about what you did in high school and in college, but it's you take it to a totally different level. If you want to be one of those guys in this league. And guys ask about leadership, it's much more than just being able to score the ball. It's much more than just being able to, get an assist, get guys in the right position. It takes a lot to be a leader and to be one of the best players in this league. And I think I struggled with it, the first couple of weeks of this year, but it's something that you have to learn. It's not something that you're just, I guess, kind of born with or anything like that. Like, you have to learn how to do that in this league. And I think I'm getting better at it.
Hey, Fox, as someone who's not the biggest guy in the world, going up and taking a charge against someone like Zion Williamson, first of all, are you okay? And just what was that experience like?
Yeah, I'm good. I played football, so but at the time, there's no pads or anything to protect you. But that's just anticipation, kind of knowing where he wants to go, and just sit there and take it. Obviously, after taking the charge, you'd hope that the guy isn't going to keep, rolling in there. But he stayed with it, and I'm good. I'm good.
George.
Hey, DeAaron, how do you respond to the, I guess, criticisms of your game that you're clearly very aggressive tonight, but that you turn those on, or turn that aggressiveness on for some games, leave it off for others? How do you respond to that criticism? Is that a fair analysis, or are people missing something?
I've kind of a lot of times pick and chose my spots. I've been told that I need to do it more often than not. Obviously, be smart with your aggression and how aggressive that you play or what you're doing. But it's just being consistent in this league. Obviously, it's a lot of games, but like I said, if you want to be one of those players, that's something that you have to be able to bring it every night. Obviously, you're going to have off nights where you're missing shots or things like that. But your aggression and the way that you come out can't really change. It can't really vary a lot.
All right, last one, Jason Anderson.
Hey, Fox, you just mentioned that you felt like you struggled early in the season with that leadership role. Why is that? And what is it like as a young emerging star in the league to find that voice amongst the veteran presence that you have in the locker room as well?
Just because, obviously we started the year out well, and, being a leader, it's you see it a lot more when the team is struggling. So, for me, after seeing it, it's like, I've been through it, but I wouldn't say I pretty much knew what to do or how to figure this out. But I mean, like I said, it's a learning process. I think I'm getting better at it day by day, and just knowing what to say, what to do. Obviously, showing that you have to be able to. I mean, you can talk the talk, but you got to be able to go out there and lead by example as well. So, I mean, it's something that I just continue to get better at, and I mean, it's a learning process because you have to continue to learn about the game of basketball, about how NBA basketball is played, and I think that's where I'm getting a lot better at it.
All right, thank you, Fox. Appreciate it.